Learn everything you need to be amazing at Stable Diffusion. Speedrun. First, have a great computer. What is a great computer? Basically these days means have an NVIDIA graphics card that is as big as you can afford. More information in the description. Next, we're going to download and install ComfyUI. Go to this URL, scroll past all the scary stuff you don't need to know right now, click this link. Amazingly, that's it. Open up that folder you just downloaded, double click this guy. This will pop open in your web browser. Let's go through it. Hit this button and get an image. Pretty simple. How did that happen? Coming over here, a checkpoint, also known as a model, is the AI that actually does the generation of the photo. Different models will have different styles, different strengths and weaknesses, and different speeds. Companies put out models, random people on Reddit put out models. You could train up a model if you wanted to. Check out the free tier of my Patreon for some of my favorite models. Hopping over here, conditioning is the general term for a prompt. Conditioning is often text, but can include things like images, colors, poses, or many other things. Check out links in the description for more. Notice that there are two types of conditioning. The positive conditioning rewards the AI when it makes things that are aligned with it. The negative conditioning punishes the AI when it makes things that aren't aligned with it. So during the generation process, you are driving towards something and away from something. Let's quickly talk about latents. Imagine a latent space as every possible image that this AI is capable of generating, ones that it has already generated and ones that it hasn't yet generated. Imagine this latent space as your room. You might put all the pictures of cats on your desk. You might have pictures of medieval castles stored on your nightstand. Under the bed are anime renditions of the Mona Lisa. The point is, the latent space contains every image you're going to generate with this AI, and things that look similar are close together. Which brings us to samplers. There are many samplers. They are all ways to search this latent space. I ask it, give me a picture of the Monopoly man working in a coal mine. And it searches around my room, the latent space, for where this picture is. Remember, the way I ask for that is via the conditioning. And while it looks, the sampler is going to grade how well it is doing against that conditioning. It will start out far away, in this case, with a random latent image. However, over the course of a certain number of steps, it will do its best to find it. You'll notice CFG. This is effectively, how seriously should the sampler take the conditioning? If I crank this way up, I'm going to get something that looks a little crispy. But if I have this too low, it's going to be completely unrelated. We have to find a balance to get something that is both beautiful and adheres to the prompt, and that number is going to change depending on your application. Finally, let's look at denoising. This is how hard we weigh between 0 and 100. The latent image that we take in versus the latent image that we take out. If I want something that is nearly identical to the input latent, I'll set this low. But if I want something that is very similar to the conditioning, I will set this to 1. VAE, two blocks you care about, encode and decode. These are the translator between how the AI sees them and how a human sees them. Why would we want to encode something? Let's say you had an existing image. You could turn that into a latent to feed into a sampler, basically saying, hey, could you find me things that look kind of like this? Pop quiz, let's make something from scratch to use all of these concepts. First, we need a model. I'm choosing Dream Shaper. Next, conditioning. 1 positive, 1 negative. Text conditioning wants an input called clip that it gets from your model. Let's load an image to be our starting image. And encode that into a latent. You can get the VAE from your checkpoint. Drop in a sampler, hook up our model, our positive conditioning, our negative conditioning, and the latent image that we are starting with. We will decode what comes out of this, and we will save that image. And the most important step, get frustrated that this isn't the thing you had in your head, and subscribe to my Patreon for strategies on how to fix that.